Greetings, welcome to Everybody's a Cancer, including you, wisdom for all 12 signs. Before I get into it, this will actually be part of it, but I think I'm gonna share this little snippet in different places. So if you're on the Good Eye Shay page, peace to you. If you're on my personal pages, greetings and peace to you as well. But as I was thinking about this Cancer season that we are currently in, no matter what your sun sign is, we all have Cancer in our birth chart somewhere, right? So I was thinking about this energy of Cancer and how a lot of times it gets the reputation of only being like the emotional side and all of that kind of stuff. But I was thinking about how the ocean connects to Cancer season. It's a water sign, right? And so it was having me think about the ocean and the bigness and the vastness of the ocean, and how the ocean can hold boats, it can hold ships, it can hold children playing in the water, right? So from small little plankton all the way to ships and whales and all that kind of stuff, the ocean can hold it. And one of the lessons I feel for us during this Cancer season is not only being able to hold the emotions and the nurturing and the loving of other people, but also making sure that we're doing that for ourselves in a big way. Like the ocean is big, it's huge, it's vast. You can't contain it, right? So, likewise, that's how we should be loving and nurturing on ourselves as much as we do for other people, because Cancer season and the sign of Cancer a lot of times is all about loving others or nurturing and protecting others in a big way, but it is also about doing that for yourself as well, because you can only give to others as you give to yourself. So, I keep doing my hand like this. Well, I talk with my hands anyway, but recently I had this ring, this stone. I think it's a royal aura quartz. I had it wrapped in copper by CK, the great copper king of copper vibrations, and it was a small ring, because I'm normally, if I'm wearing rings, it's usually small, or dainty. I'm not a big ring person. I might wear big earrings, but my rings are usually small, right? So I needed to get it rewrapped, and so I asked him to rewrap it, and he kind of rewrapped it in a small way, and I didn't like it too much, and I was like, can you just like freak it a little differently, you know what I mean? And so he was like, all right. So he went and made this huge ring. Well, this is huge for me, and I was like, at first I was like, I don't know, but then something said, no, keep it this size. Like, it's okay sometimes to do something bigger and more expansive or outlandish or just different for yourself sometimes, right? And so I'm wearing this ring in this video because it's important. I think that is the message for Cancer season for everybody. Like, it's not just about, you know, being emotional, having big emotions, having big feelings, or nurturing and loving other people in a big way. But again, it's also about doing something big for yourself, you know what I mean? And doing something big for yourself in a fun way, in a way that's, you're not ashamed of, in a way that, whatever, and grow into it. Like, I've been wearing this ring for the past few days so I can get accustomed to having, something this large on my hands, right? And so, ask yourself, how can you love on yourself in a big way? Because if you're outpouring, your energy to other people, family, friends, or even into your own emotions in a big way, but you're not really loving on yourself in a big way, then that's going to impede how you actually are, pouring out your energy this Cancer season. So I felt like that was a big message for all of us, no matter what our sun signs are. This Cancer season is loving ourselves in a big way, or preparing to do so. And you can do so by doing, something small, like wear something that you normally wouldn't wear, or go a place that you would normally shy away from, just for whatever reason you feel like, it's too big for you, or it's too, the ocean isn't too big, and Cancer season is kind of ruled by that ocean, big mama, that, those of you who are familiar, even Yemoja kind of energy is all encompassing. It's And so love on yourself and nurture on yourself in a big way. And normally I keep forgetting to have this book present when I am doing my everybody's whatever sign, including you. So I made sure to put it right here with me. My book, The Magic of Self-Love. If you have not read it or purchased it, or maybe you purchased it for yourself, but you feel like it's something that, you, again, Cancer season, and somebody else that you know or love or want to nurture could benefit from it, make sure you get this book. The link is down below. It is available on Amazon. So it makes a great gift for you, makes a great gift for other people. Yes. So why is this? I mean, I'm outside, but it's like, I guess because it's noon, so the sun is right over me. I can't never get this lighting thing right. It's all good though. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into it. I got my notes in front of me. Everybody's a Cancer, including you, no matter what your sun sign is. Now, I highly suggest that you not only listen to the message that comes for your sun sign, but that you also listen for your rising sign. That might actually be even more important. So I'm gonna go through all 12 signs of the zodiac and talk about what I feel you most need to know, do, and be aware of, whatever comes to me. And I will pull an oracle card for each sign. But what is the message for your sign during Cancer season? But it is very important that you not only listen to the message that comes forth for your sun sign. So let's just say you're a sun sign Leo. So you listen to what I tell Leos for this Cancer season. But let's just say you're a rising sign Sagittarius. So then listen to the message that comes forth for Sagittarius, because that may actually be more specific and more impactful than just listening to your sun sign. You get it? I'm just using the Leo Sagittarius example, but whatever your sun sign is, if you don't know your rising sign, you can go to any one of the natal chart websites, put in your birth information, and they will give you for free your sun, moon, and your rising sign. So make sure you check out the information for all of that. All right, so let's get started. Cancer, we're gonna start with you first. So all my sun, moon, and rising sign Cancers, what is the wisdom and guidance that is coming forth for all of my sun, moon, and rising sign Cancers this Cancer season 2022? Thank you. All right, so there's two cards that wanted to come for you. The first one is chaos and conflict. The second one is to the sea. So I feel like this first card, this chaos and conflict, and I'm gonna read a little bit of what the card has to say, but I feel like for a lot of my sun, moon, and rising sign Cancers, that's from the past. You may be coming out of a phase or era where there may have been a lot of chaos and conflict. The card says disarray, being at cross purposes with another, the tension of opposites, the value of chaos before order, right? So there may have been chaos and conflict in your life, or, I almost feel like either like you wanted to do one thing and somebody else wanted to do another, or this may all have been internal, like you want to do this but you want to do that. You're kind of at cross purposes with yourself, and so that keeps a lot of that chaos, that conflict, inability to move forward as you would like. But I feel like that's in the past unless you keep it going in the future, right? And so this Cancer season is because it's if you're a sun sign Cancer or a rising sign Cancer, specifically if you're a rising sign Cancer, that sign is in your first house, which deals with who you are, the I am, So ask yourself, am I chaos? Am I conflict? Ask yourself, if there is chaos and conflict in my life, why is that? Usually when there's chaos and conflict is because you've lost sight of who you are or what it is that you are wanting or going for or desiring for your life. And so, like it said, chaos and conflict usually precedes order, right? And structure. So this is the time for you to reevaluate, like who are you? How do you want your life structured? How do you envision your own light and energy coming forth and shining forth in your life, and so that your own light is not overshadowed by other people's desires and wishes for you. And so that is the question for you, right? That's something for you to evaluate. You got also to the sea, which if you go back and listen to my whole opening, and I talked about Cancer season, Cancer really being, a water sign. It's the first water sign of the zodiac. Before y'all, we had Aries, Taurus, and Gemini. And then here comes Cancer, your sign, the first water sign of the zodiac. So you really usher us into this watery ocean, and the vastness of the ocean, the limitlessness of the ocean. Think about all of the things that they are still discovering is in the ocean, from way at the bottom to way at the top, and how the waters are so different no matter which ocean that you're in, right? And so this card, to the sea, says being in flow, returning to source, recognizing how pieces fit together, a natural pattern of events. And so it is time for you, my sun sign Cancers, to get back in tune with what is your calling, what is your desire, what is your mission, what is your divine calling, because to the sea talks about returning to source, right? Returning to source, or the what source has for you, or the purpose for your life, in that way, and being in flow. Sometimes as a water sign Cancer, you may be more resistant to too much structure, right? And really, structure for water signs in general usually just helps to keep you balanced, helps to keep you, when you think about the land that surrounds oceans, or lakes, right? It's to give it boundaries, but there's still flow within there. So ask yourself, how can you better flow in your own light and in your own energy? And don't be ashamed of how you flow, how you flow. Sometimes you may feel as though, how do I want to say, like judging yourself too harshly, because you may not be as structured in the way that other people want you to be as structured because of your emotional flow. But your emotional flow is what makes you who you are. And so there's beauty in that, right? And so just making sure that your own emotions and how you are flowing your energy, because emotions is just energy, emotion, how you are flowing your energy is a way that allows you to truly shine and bring focus to who you are, what it is that you want for your life, instead of being in that chaos and conflict. All right. So that is my message for my sun, moon, and rising sign Cancers. If you are a sun sign Cancer, but you have a different rising sign, make sure you listen to the message for your rising sign. Make sure you click down below to get my book, The Magic of Self-Love. And if this message empowers you in any kind of way, make sure you leave a love offering down below. Hey, be in flow. You want energy to flow to you, flow energy out, and that energy will flow back to you. Ashe? All right, so who is next? Leo. To all my sun, moon, and rising sign Leos. If you missed my opening where I talked about the vastness of the ocean, connecting the ocean to this Cancer season, and what I feel everybody needs to be doing this Cancer season. I even talk about this ring that I'm wearing, right? Make sure that you listen to like the first 5 minutes of this whole video to get that information. So what wisdom and guidance is there for my sun, moon, and rising sign Leos this Cancer season? All right, Leo, you got a change in the wind, a change in the wind. Whenever I see this card, it is what it says: change, inevitable change, change that you cannot control, change that may even make you feel as though you are like, it may be uncomfortable because you may feel like the inner, that I feel like for some of you, not all Leos, but I feel like for some of you, you may feel like this change causes the light to not be shined on you in a way that you like, in a way that you prefer, but this change is necessary. If you are a rising sign Leo, especially, and I talked earlier about the importance of knowing your rising sign. So if you're a sun sign Leo, you might have a different rising sign. So make sure you listen to the message for your rising sign as well. But Leos in general, especially rising sign Leos, Cancer season is a great time for you to delve into everything concerning your spirit. You know, how you are nurturing your spirit is the question for you Leos this Cancer season. How are you nurturing your spirit? How are you loving on your spirit? And what I think is most important for Leo right now is how are you allowing spirit, your higher self, your ancestors, the universe, however you define that, how are you allowing that to play a role in your life? Are you, is it all about what you want and your own ego and what you think and how you want to do things? Or are you allowing God, if you will, or spirit to position you, put you in right position, right? Are you, do you think you're smarter than God? Right? Now, while I do believe that all of us have that divine source within us, sometimes the mind and the ego self and the subconscious mind and those fears and those worries and how we think life should be starts to take over the way in which our divine selves is trying to position our lives. And so this Cancer season for all of my sun, moon, and rising sign Leos is a good time for you to nurture your spirit and to nurture your relationship with spirit itself, the higher, the source of us, the source of all, right? So you got a change in the wind, which says a sense that unseen change has been initiated, preparing for a storm, awareness that your plans are not on firm ground, feeling a shift, uncertainty about which direction the winds will blow. So this, if there is anything or any area of your life where you have not been, where you're like, it's got to be my way. This is like spirit saying to you that you don't control. It's some things you don't control, and change is one of them. So you can either get with the flow, or you can be against the flow, which is only going to hurt you anyway. Cancer season is all about the flow, the waters. That's why I told you go back and listen to the opening. How the ocean moves, you cannot control that. So it's best to be in flow with it and allow the changes that need to take place in your life to happen, and to be in divine alignment with spirit, rather than trying to be like, well, this is how I want it to be, and I'm gonna force this way and I'm gonna force that way, because there's some changes, there's some higher changes that I believe that are trying to come through you at this time. But if you're resistant to it, then you can miss your own blessings. Nobody wants to miss their own blessings, you know. Or as my good dear sister friend Iya Omidire Osetsi Aragon, some of you may know her as Mama Nia, often says, you know, I will not block you from your blessings. And your blessings sometimes can be harsh lessons because you didn't want to follow the flow of spirit. So either way, whether it's an outright blessing or a lesson, it's still a blessing. So it's your choice how that blessing flows into your life, right? All right, so who is next? Oh, Leo. So make sure you click down below. You get my book, The Magic of Self-Love. You can leave a love offering down below if this message has blessed you, since that's y'all's word, this message. If it has blessed you in any kind of way, and thank you so much for watching. So who is next? Virgo, 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 Virgo. Shout out to all my Virgos this Cancer season, to all my sun, moon, and rising sign Virgos. If you skipped ahead, make sure you go back and listen to the first 5 minutes of this message, because I gave some very important information about Cancer season and being in divine flow with the waters, the Cancerian waters that we all find ourselves in. I even talked about this ring. I even talk about this ring a little bit there too. So anyway, so to all my sun, moon, and rising sign Cancers, what wisdom and guidance is there for my sun, moon, and rising sign Cancers? And if you're a sun or moon sign, excuse me, what is the message for all my sun, moon, and rising sign Virgo this Cancer season? What is the message for all my sun, moon, and rising sign Virgos this Cancer season? Thank you. Yeah, this is true. I'm a sun sign Virgo, so I can already see this card and be like, yeah, girl, that's true. Anyway, you got the card chopped wood, and I'm gonna talk about it in just a second. But yes, this Cancer season, to all my sun, moon, and rising sign Virgos, is a time for chopping wood. And what does this card mean? It says being grounded in everyday experience, humility. Later on in this whole message, I'm not going to read it all to you, but it talks about the importance of doing your chores, doing your basic task. If you know that there's something you need to be planning for, preparing for, doing, working on, then this is a great time to do that. I think we have Mars is getting ready to move into the sign of Taurus. And basically, while we're still in Cancer season, I know I'm giving you a lot, but stay with me. So basically, what that can mean is that with Mars and Taurus, it means that there's a lot of that Mars energy, that drive, that wanting to push forward. But it's in a sign like Taurus, which is about enjoying life and eating good and dressing well and having pleasure and all of those sorts of things. And with Mars there, and I'm going somewhere with this, but with Mars there, there's one or two things. It could be a great time to, if you have not been nurturing yourself, to really put energy towards how you allow pleasure into your life, joy into your life, putting more energy into your wardrobe, putting more energy into, even your work and your goals and all those sorts of things, and how you are nurturing yourself. But it could also mean that there might be times when you want to chill or just enjoy the pleasures of life, but that Mars being in the sign of Taurus is like, but you got work to do, right? So this chopped wood with us, for all my sun, moon, and rising signs Virgo during this Cancer season is actually co-signing the last part that I just said about Mars and Taurus, which is do the things that you know you need to do. If there's paperwork that needs to be taken care of, take care of it. If there's, if you got this big vision, right, you got this big dream for your life, but you're not taking the basic steps toward it, chop wood is saying, honey, get to work, do what you got to do, do a little bit every day. It's not saying that you have to climb that mountain, today, start a multi-million-dollar business right here, right now, but you could start the website, right? You could get your business stuff in order. If you want to move to a new place, then this could be a good time for you to start doing the work to organize and organize your clothing and your items and all those sorts of things, and begin to purge some of the things that you no longer need and start packing the things that you want to take with you. But this card, chop wood, is all the little tedious things that help to make the bigger vision come to pass. And so for all of my sun, moon, and rising sign Virgos, especially, and I talked about this at the beginning, that it's important for you to know your rising sign when you're listening to these, not just your sun and moon sign. So you might be a sun sign Virgo, but if you're a rising sign Sagittarius, for example, you need to make sure you listen to the Sagittarius portion of this video. But it's, for Virgos in general, and specifically for rising sign Virgos, this Cancer season is a great time for you to engage more with your community, with your network. You may find that there are people in your community, in your friend groups, in your social groups, your social networks, that can assist you with the chopping of wood. They can give you guidance on, how to go about doing the small tasks that help to get you to the big goal. But also, again, with this being Cancer season, it is a time for being in flow and allowing yourself to feel. So don't get so caught up in just the work aspect, but make even your work fun. Listen to some great music, have some comedy playing in the background, keep your energy and your emotions high, and that will make the chopping of wood, those little tasks, that will make all of those tasks so much more easier for your life. So make sure you click down below to get my book. If you haven't, get away from me. Come on now, B or whatever. Anyway, if you haven't gotten the magic of self-love, click down below to get that. If you want to leave a love offering, if this message has spoken to you, or if you just want to support this channel, make sure you do that as well. The link is down below. All right, so to all of my sun, moon, and rising signs Libra, this Cancer season, to all of my sun, moon, and rising signs Libra, this Cancer season, what wisdom and guidance is there for you? Here we go. All right, and so to all of, you got a card called Time to Go. All right, so to all my sun, moon, and rising signs, Libra, during Cancer season, if you missed the opening, make sure you listen to the first 5 minutes of this video because it's hot out here. Because I talk about the power of this Cancer season that we all find ourselves in. And I talk a little bit about this ring too and why I have it on and how, for me, it's connecting to Cancer season. But something in there I think is going to be helpful to you all Libras. And I also mention about how you might be a sun sign Libra, but it's important that you also know your rising sign. And so if you are not a rising sign Libra, make sure you listen to the message that comes forth for your rising sign as well. All right, so to all my sun, moon, and rising sign Libras, you got a card called Time to Go, which obviously is about moving on. It's about moving forward. It could be in relationship. Those of you who know when it's time for you to move on in a relationship, you probably already intuitively know that. But I think for a lot of you, it's even bigger than that. Time to Go is about, I feel for you all, this Cancer season, to all my sun, moon, and rising sign Libras, this Cancer season is about being in such flow that you're able to move on to that which is more emotionally fulfilling for you, if that makes sense. Whether it's a job, whether it's a moving on in terms of moving to a different house, city, state, whatever. Moving on from old habits, moving on just from that, because again, Cancer season is about the flow of the emotions and how we nurture ourselves and how we love and nurture on other people, right? And so with Time to Go, it's saying that it's time to move forward. It's just time to move forward from where you are or where you've been in some kind of way. Examine your own life and figure out where that works for you. But this card says endings, completion, walking away from something because there is nothing else to learn or experience. To all of my sun, moon, and rising sign Libras, that especially my rising signs, because Cancer for you is happening in a place called the 10th house, which deals with careers and long-term goals and all that kind of stuff. Some of you perhaps have had these long-term goals, these dreams, and you've gotten there, right? You got the job, you got the whatever, right? You lost the weight, you know, whatever your long-term goal, like you got to a certain place and now you're like, what else? I would encourage you Libras to write down, write a sentence like something like, what will emotionally, how do I want to phrase a sentence? What emotionally fulfills me is fill in the blank, right? Because sometimes we can be in the habit of just doing the same things over and over again, and it can just feel like same thing, different day. And Time to Go is like, but there's so much more awaiting you, so much more joy, so much more excitement. But I would say because it's Cancer season, it's really about so much more that can be emotionally fulfilling to you. You know, it's not necessarily saying quit your job or what have you, but it could be like, okay, you've reached this plateau. Is there something else in your company that you can do, a promotion that you can go for? You know, even for some of you, I feel like it's just a vacation. It's like you need something to kind of spark you, to kind of wake you up, to open you up to something more, but only you know what that is, Libra. You know, only you know what that is. And if you're not sure about what that is, then you need to ask yourself or do that assignment that I just said, you know, write that sentence. What emotionally fulfills me is fill in that blank. And if you want to break it down, you can break it down into areas of your life. What emotionally fulfills me in a relationship is fill in the blank. What emotionally fulfills me in a career is fill in the blank. What emotionally fulfills me in my family or with my children is, or with myself. In the opening, I talked about the magic of self-love, right? And how Cancer season sometimes is all about how we nurture and love other people. But in order to nurture and love other people, you have to be able to love and nurture yourself. So what emotionally fulfills you? Only you can know that, and only you can figure that out for yourself. And so Cancer season really is the time for you to do that. All right. So to all of my sun, moon, and rising signs Libra, if you want my book, The Magic of Self-Love, click down below. Also, if you want to leave a love offering, if this message has inspired you in any way, make sure that you do that. That link is down below as well. All right. Who is next? Sagittarius. To all my sun, moon, and rising signs Sagittarius, this message is for you. Man, I hope this ain't like super dark. I keep looking like, I don't know, whatever. So to all my sun, moon, and rising signs Sagittarius, what wisdom and guidance is there for you this Cancer season? All my sun, moon, and rising signs Sagittarius, what wisdom and guidance is there for you this Cancer season? Happy, happy. This is one of the happiest cards of this entire deck. Obviously, happy, happy, right? As this name indicates. So to all my sun, moon, and rising signs Sagittarius this Cancer season, before I get into it, make sure that you go back and listen to the first 5 minutes of this video, because I talk about how Cancer season, how it connects to the vastness of the ocean. And when you think about the ocean, you know, it contains so much, right? It contains so much. And there's so much flow, and there's so much life in it. And there's so, some of the waters are dangerous and choppy and cold. And some of the waters of the oceans are warm and inviting and have lots of life in them, right? And so it's just a matter of how we want to, because Cancer deals with how we nurture ourselves and how we fulfill ourselves, and therefore how we love and nurture and fulfill, are fulfilling in the lives of other people, right? And so this Cancer season for my sun, moon, and rising sign Sagittarius is a time to be considering how you are, what truly makes you happy. And this really ties into, ooh, I skipped Scorpio. I'll go back to Scorpio in a second. But how you can find emotional fulfillment is very similar to what I just said to Libra. You know, what truly makes you happy? What truly makes you happy? And with this being Cancer season, sometimes you have to just allow the flow to happen. Because Cancer season is all about those waters, those emotional waters, you know, and emotional waters don't have to be choppy. They don't have to be it. And I think I said during the last video, everybody's a Gemini. In my message to Sagittarius, it was about how you show up, you know. And so as a continuation of that, this Cancer season is asking you, are you allowing yourself to be truly happy? What does happiness look like for you? How does that, are you rigid in your happiness, or do you think you have to control your happiness, right? Especially for my rising sign Sagittarius, because Cancer is happening in a place of your chart called the 8th house, which sometimes can deal with control and manipulation, or being controlled and being manipulated, right? But you are the owner of your happiness. You know, you are the one who determines how that happiness looks for you, and how that happiness flows into your life, right? This card says joy and contentment, a sense of fulfillment, a feeling that all is well. This Cancer season is reminding you, Sagittarius, to be joyous, to be happy, to allow yourself to be loved. Yeah, to allow yourself to be loved. Also, if there are things in your life that are too rigid and need a little bit more flow, especially I feel for Sag, especially Sag rising, in terms of like the flow of your money, or the flow of any kind of energetic flow. Kind of look at that, like how can that be a more happy experience for you? How can you also just take care of some things and knock some things off your plate, so that they are no longer a source of contention or strife, or anything that is opposite of happy, right? Get those things in alignment in your life, and watch and allow more happiness or opportunities to be happy and joyous to flow into your life. I really like that for you, Sagittarius. If you haven't gotten my book, The Magic of Self-Love, make sure you do that down below. And also, if this message has blessed you in any kind of way, you can leave me a love offering. That link is down below as well in the description box. All right, so let me get back to these Scorpios. I skipped them. I don't want them to come for me. I ain't scared. Anyway. To all my sun, moon, and rising signs, Scorpio. To all my sun, moon, and rising signs, Scorpio, what wisdom and guidance is there for you in your fellow water sign, Cancer? All my sun, moon, and rising signs, Scorpio, what wisdom and guidance is there during Cancer season? Thank you. Here we go. Building blocks. All right, to all my sun, moon, and rising sign Scorpio during Cancer season, you got the card building blocks. Time for building, right? So if you skipped ahead and you missed my opening message, go back and watch like the first 5 minutes of this whole video. And I talk about the energy of Cancer being that of water, being like the ocean, being vast, being big, being inexhaustible in a kind of way, and that's how we are in our emotions, and how we flow, and how we nurture other people, and how we love on ourselves, right? So watch that and tie that message into what I'm about to say to you now. So you got building blocks, which is about as it says, building. It says strong foundations, a beautiful work in progress. You have everything you need to cultivate an extraordinary life. This is a time when your focus needs to be on the foundations you build upon. Your work, your relationships, and your very being are underwritten by your values, ethics, morals, and core beliefs. Are they still true for you? Will they stand the test of time and serve as the solid grounding upon which you construct your life? Now you are making changes that will affect everything in a positive way. Your destiny is truly a remarkable and beautiful design. Scorpio, this is a time for you, with it being Cancer season, to utilize your emotional self, to utilize what you know for sure will fulfill you or is emotionally fulfilling to you, and using that as the grounding point to build upon, to build the things that you are wanting to be more solid in your life. If there are things that are too fluctuating, right? Because you're a water sign, Scorpio, Cancer is a water sign, so there's a lot of fluctuation, there's a lot of movement, there's a lot of, I feel this way now, but now my emotions have changed, and now I feel this way, and now I feel this way, and all of those sorts of things. But the beautiful thing about that, if you can find the core of why you feel how you feel, why you desire what you desire, what truly nurtures your soul, even if there are fluctuations in that, because today you feel more this way, whereas tomorrow you might feel more this way. But at the end of the day, you know the core of what it is that you are trying to feel and be fulfilled in your life. That is where you utilize building blocks. That is where you become more solid and more grounded and more solidified in your actions. That will make your actions more strategic, as opposed to just kind of haphazard based on how you're feeling at any given moment. So if you know, for example, that family is something that you truly, truly value, whether today you like your family and tomorrow you don't, right? But overall, that is something that brings you emotional fulfillment, or taking care of that, or nurturing that is what brings you fulfillment. How can you build a more solid foundation when it comes to how you relate with your family? Or how can you build a stronger family, or how can you build a stronger career? For my rising sign Scorpios, for my rising sign Scorpios, this Cancer is season. Cancer, the sign of Cancer, is happening for you in your 9th house. Now, if you're a sun sign Scorpio, make sure you listen to the message that's also for your rising sign as well. But in general for Scorpio, and it's more specifically for my rising sign Scorpios, the 9th house is a place of expansion, of even travel, of even expanding your personal beliefs, and allowing yourself to be more tolerant to maybe other ways of doing things. And I think the more you open yourself up and allow yourself to be open to other ways of doing things, especially in the areas of your life that matter to you most, then you will know how to build. Then you will know how to be structured, because you might have been doing things in a way that was a little bit more haphazard, a little bit more flighty, a little bit more just kind of here, there, and everywhere. But building blocks is saying, okay, but what's the best way to go about doing the thing that is most important in your life, and making that more solid? Because I feel like for some of you, you start building and then you tear things down, and that is a part of Scorpio energy, because there's a kind of build and destroy thing going on with Scorpio in general. There's always this willingness to uproot everything in order to build anew, which is fine when that's necessary. But some things I feel for you Scorpios need to be more solidified. Everything doesn't need to be torn down completely. It just needs to be built better the first time. So if you build better the first time, and the foundation of that being truly how you want to feel, truly what is most fulfilling to you in that area of your life, then those areas of your life will be more solidified, and then you can flow a little better in the areas where you want to flow a little bit more. All right. So to all of my sun, moon, and rising sign Scorpios, if this message has blessed you, I give thanks for your love offerings. You can do that down below. Also, if you have not gotten my book, The Magic of Self-Love, the link to that is down below as well, and it is available on Amazon. Thank you. Peace and love. Whoa, who is next? Cards flying out. Capricorn. So I already did Sagittarius. So I'm going to move on to Capricorn. To all of my sun, moon, and rising signs Capricorn during Cancer season, what wisdom and guidance is there for sun, moon, and rising sign Capricorns during Cancer season? Thank you. All right. To be fair. To be fair. Balance. Harmony. Look at them scales. Those scales of justice, almost like Ma'at, right? For those of you who know about the Egyptian or Kemetic Neter or goddess Ma'at, it's about balance, about fairness, about justice. Let me read to you what it has to say. Balance, justice, a need to consider options, mutual benefit, the law of cause and effect. Life offers experiences that are challenging and experiences that are nourishing, yet over time they strike a balance. You move from stasis to doing, from discovering to loving, to letting go, to being again. Life is a pendulum swinging between all of these states. You will always oscillate back and forth between doing and being if you are not content with where you are at this moment. Remember that all experiences have their place. Accept them without judgment, and you will see how the universe adjusts in perfect balance. You reap what you sow. For every cause there is an effect. Wondrous things will be revealed now. So for my sun, moon, and rising sign Capricorn, especially my rising sign Capricorn. Now, I highly suggest if you are like a sun sign Capricorn or moon sign Capricorn that you also listen to the message for your rising sign. So for my Capricorns in general, but my rising sign Capricorns this Cancer season, Cancer is in a place called your 7th house, which deals with relationships. So during Cancer season is probably a good time for you to bring, how I'm asking my Capricorns, how do you show up in your relationships? Are you showing up as though, it's just your way, your view? What's this saying now? Everybody says, what do you bring to the table, right? What do I bring to the table? Ask yourself, what do I bring to the table in all of my relationships? Now, for Capricorn, I feel like some of you are like, well, I bring this, I bring that. If it wasn't for me, they wouldn't have this. If it wasn't for me, they wouldn't have that. I bring, there's something else that is required of you, though, dear Capricorn. With it being Cancer season is all about how you nurture, right? How you love. How do you truly If you listen to my opening, I definitely talked about nurturing oneself, because how you nurture yourself is how you show up, right? But the message I think that's more specific for Capricorn is why, and I don't know if it's for all of y'all or just for some of you. Why do you think you showing up is enough? You know, or why do you think you just paying a bill is enough? Sometimes those who are in your life, they need to, your, I can hear it now. I can hear you, Capricorn, saying, but that's how I love, right? You know, that's, I wouldn't do this for people I don't love. I wouldn't give in this way, or if I didn't love them. And I hear you. But some people in your life need to feel how you love them in ways that are not just practical, in ways that are not just I paid the bills, or I showed up, or I came home, or I bought my children clothes so they should know, or I cooked them dinner, or I gave my spouse this or that. I think for some of you, you need to come out of yourself and love the people that you say that you love in a more expansive way. Please make sure you go back and listen to the first 5 minutes of this video where I talk about what Cancer season really is. This is the time for you, Capricorn, to expand how you love and nurture people. And I'm going to challenge you as an earth sign to come out of the practical ways in which you love. Like just how you practically love people, how you just, provide or do things that are needed in a very practical way. Sometimes you have to, people need to see that you're able to be impractical, right? Sometimes people need to see how you're willing to spend money in a way that's beyond just paying the rent, paying for clothes, buying something to eat, doing, something out. I talk about this ring. If you go back and listen, to the beginning of this message, I talk about how, this ring is just something a little bit bigger than what I would normally wear, or a little bit more outlandish, right? But sometimes you got to do something that's bigger or more outlandish. It triggers something in the universe. It sparks something in the universe, right? So I feel like for some of my Capricorns, yes, this could be a time to make sure that you're being fair and just, and make sure that you're receiving as much as you give. But I feel like for most of you, it's about coming out of the practical, typical way in which you normally show up in your relationships, and do something different, do something impractical, do something that in your Capricornian mind is unreasonable. And it doesn't have to be lavish or expensive. It could just be something different. For example, you may be someone who says, it doesn't make sense to go on a picnic in the park. It's bugs everywhere. It's all kind of, we could just go to the restaurant. But the person that you're loving may need you to do the picnic in the park. May need you to do something that you normally wouldn't do, that to you feels impractical, but to them, it's like you coming out of yourself enough to love on them. So this is really a good time for you to look at ways in which you can do that for those whom you say that you truly, truly love and that you're always showing up for in your life. So to all of my Capricorns, if you have not gotten my book, The Magic of Self-Love, that link is down below. You can also get it on Amazon. And if this message has blessed you in any kind of way, or this channel blesses you in any kind of way, I highly encourage that you leave a love offering to this channel. So that is it for all of my Capricorns this Cancer season. So who is next? Aquarius. Yes. To all my sun, moon, and rising sign Aquarius, what message and wisdom and guidance is there for you this Cancer season? All my sun, moon, and rising sign Aquarius, what wisdom and guidance is there for Aquarius this Cancer season? Thank you. Treasure Island. To all my sun, moon, and rising sign Aquarius, you got the card Treasure Island. Before I get into it, if you are an Aquarius who skipped ahead, make sure you listen to the first 5 minutes of this video, because I talk about what this Cancer season 2022 is all about, and how it just connects to the vastness of the ocean, to the vastness of all things are possible. I didn't say this in the beginning, still make sure you listen, but all things are possible to you when you know that all things are possible. When you think about the ocean, everything is in the ocean. Everything from tiny little plankton to whales to cruise ships, right? The ocean has the capacity to hold so much. This Cancer season for you, Aquarius, is a time where you may have the capacity to do anything that you desire as long as you are emotionally aligned and in tune with that thing. If you want plankton, you can have plankton. Like if you just need a small experience, that's fine. If you want a whale experience, that is fine. But where are your emotions aligned to? Just understand that wherever your emotions are aligned is where what you are allowing to be in your life. So Treasure Island says the law of attraction, bringing dreams into fruition. The results of positive thinking made manifest, abundance appearing as if from nowhere, financial gains, and the sharing of good fortune. Shay, why didn't this come up for my sign? Anyway, this Cancer season to all of my sun, moon, and rising sign Capricorns is a time of treasure. Even look at, I didn't even pay attention to the fact it's like a sea turtle in the ocean, right? So it's still connecting to that ocean energy. Make sure you watch the first 5 minutes of this video. But you know, all things truly are possible. This is really a Cancer season for all of my Aquarians, and Aquarius is the water bearer, right? It's the logical mind. Yes, it is the visionary, but it's also the visionary who is able to has the capacity to hold emotion, that has the capacity to hold the emotion of the vision. I think that is what is going to propel a lot of my sun, moon, and rising sign Aquarians forward during this Cancer season, or at least plant those seeds for you really moving forward through the rest of the year. So we just had the summer solstice. You know, it's a very, very powerful time still. But it is your capacity to hold the emotion of what you envision. If you're only stuck if you're only in the vision, like you can see the vision of where you're trying to go, you can see the vision of where humanity even is going, then that's only one aspect of it. But what helps manifestation occur is the emotion of that vision. So if you're holding the emotion of the opposite of the vision, let's just say, for example, you're wanting to take a vacation and you're only holding the emotion of, why isn't this vacation happening? I hate going to work every day. This really sucks. Oh my God, I need a getaway. Then that's not going to bring about the manifestation of what you want. You have to hold the vision of what you want, but also the emotion of what you want. Cancer season, Aquarius, is all about the emotion, all about the feeling. And Cancer season in that sign itself is a very, very powerful sign of manifestation, because once the emotions are focused and channeled in a very focused way, big manifestations occur as a result. But it's about keeping those emotions in check, not having them all over the place, but really funneling all of the energy of the feeling of desires that you want in one direction, right? So to all of my rising sign Aquarius, now you may be a sun sign Aquarius or a moon sign Aquarius, this message definitely does apply as well. But it's important for you to know your rising sign. So if you may be a sun sign Aquarius, but you might be a rising sign Scorpio. So you need to listen to the Scorpio message as well. But in general, for all of my Aquarians, and more specifically my rising sign Aquarians, Cancer is happening in a place called the 6th house, which deals with your health, which deals with your routines, your regimen, and even like your work regimen, you know, what you do every day in terms of your work, what you do every day in terms of your habits and your rituals. For example, I always use this example with the 6th house. You know, you may be someone who makes coffee every morning, right? So that's a part of your routine and your ritual. it is, but the sixth house really deals with health and wellness, routines and rituals. So this Cancer season, Aquarius, is also a good time for you to focus in on your routines, your rituals that keep you healthy in mind, body, and spirit. The sixth house can sometimes indicate where there may be where something in your routine, your ritual, and especially with it being Cancer season, your emotional routines, your emotional habits, like this thing always makes you mad, or this thing always makes you happy, or how you naturally flow in your emotions, could be of either benefit or detriment to your health and wellness. So this Cancer season is really a time to examine how are your emotions keeping you in creating habits that then create either health and wellness or sickness and disease, right? And so this Cancer season, really tune into that. And Aquarius, because Cancer, the sign of Cancer also speaks to the past. It speaks to your origins, your family roots, all those sorts of things. So how are those things that were passed down to you generationally helping or impeding you moving forward towards the vision that you have for your life? So it's important that you also examine those things as well this Cancer season. But other than, with all of that, is a treasure island, waiting for you. It's just a matter of you tapping into it. So if this message has been a blessing to you, dear Aquarius, make sure you click down below and get my book, The Magic of Self-Love. It's also available on Amazon. And also make sure that you leave a love offering in support of this channel. Thank you very much. All right, so who is next? Pisces. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. Pisces, to all of my sun, moon, and rising sign. Pisces, this Cancer season, we're in your fellow water sign, Cancer. What wisdom and guidance is there for Pisces, sun, moon, and rising sign Pisces this Cancer season? Cards flying everywhere. Dang. Calm down, Pisces. All right. What wisdom and guidance is there for my sun, moon, and rising sign Pisces this Cancer season? Thank you. Here we go. You got clean it up. Clean it up. To all my sun, moon, and rising sign Pisces, this Cancer season, the card that came forth for you is called Clean It Up. I'm going to read a little bit of what that card means for you. But if you are Pisces who skipped ahead, make sure you go back and listen to the first 5 minutes of this video, because I talk about how the importance of this Cancer season, how it connects to the ocean, and how it connects to this ring that I'm wearing. I talk about so much. Not going to tell you all of it here. I already said it one time. So make sure you go back to the beginning and listen to that. But to all of my sun, moon, and rising sign Pisces this Cancer season, you got Clean It Up. And it says getting to the core of a situation, freedom from a burden, cleaning house, sweeping away what is no longer needed. Yes. So this Cancer season for sun, moon, and rising sign Pisces is a great time to do everything that it said. It's clean it, clean certain things up. Pisces, you're a water sign. Cancer is a water sign. So the beauty of that is that that water energy, that emotional energy, that ability to be intuitive, to be in flow with spirit is definitely there. This Cancer season is helping you with that. But with that being said, it does not mean that you don't have some really practical, down to earth, grounded things to take care of. Pisces, if you want those, and I feel like for a lot of Pisces, those of you who have like a creative spirit, a creative energy, is things that you are wanting to create, or even if you are a performer in some kind of way, it can be so easy to stay in that place. And so because of that, a lot of other things can get neglected. And so this Cancer season is also a time, yes, for you to be in flow and feel and flow and do all of that sort of thing that, Pisces is able to do. Being in tune with spirit, being in tune with your intuition, but also taking care of the really practical things that could hinder the flow of spirit, right? It's almost like I'm seeing, I'm almost seeing like a stage play. You know how there's like a stage play and the actors just want to be in acting mode. They just want to act. They want to come out and perform and do all that they want to do on stage. But there's also the stage managers and the stage hands and all of the people the set designers, the people who set the stage and keep the where the audience is seated clean, and those who do the costumes in the back. Like there's a lot of work that goes on in the background in order for that actor to be able to flow and without hindrance, right? So you want to be able to flow, whatever your profession is or whatever you are doing in your life. You want to be able to flow without hindrance, and the best way to do that is to clean up the things that that would block you. And I feel like for a lot of you, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign Pisces, those things that would block you are small. It's just that you just don't want to pay attention to it. You know what I mean? It could be something as simple as cleaning your house. It's making me think about the concept of feng shui. Look that up if you don't know anything about it. Feng, Feng, shui, Shui, right? It's about how to organize your home so that certain things can flow easily for you. For all of my rising sign Pisces, and I stated this in the opening, how it's very, very important for you. If you may be a sun sign Pisces, but you might be a rising sign Gemini. Who knows? You need to know your chart. So make sure you listen to the message for your rising sign as well. But in general, to all Pisces, but more specifically to my rising sign Pisces, Cancer is happening in a sign, in a house called the fifth house, which deals with creativity and pleasure and fun and even good luck, right? And I was thinking earlier about how when we say somebody is lucky or something, when somebody seems to be walking in luck, it seems almost uncontrollable. It seems serendipitous. It seems like they were just walking along, going about life, and then boom, something magical happened. They won the lottery, or they were just lucky. They got an opportunity or a big break. But usually behind a lot of luck is preparation. Now, it's not stress, it's not worrying, it's not trying to force luck to happen, but it's at least keeping the way avenues clear so that luck can flow to you. There are certain areas of your life, dear Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising sign Pisces, where there's luck that wants to flow to you, but you've got it can't flow to you as easily as it could because there's some things that need to be cleaned up. It's like, I don't know why just now I got a picture of like a digestive system, like when you eat. All right, so my phone was overheating. I'm not in the sun, but it is. So anyway, so like I was saying to my example, to my Sun, Moon, and Rising sign Pisces, it was giving me the example of, or I was seeing the example of like a digestive system and how you can be eating all types of nutritious foods and everything, but if there's gunk and all that stuff in the digestive system, it's not until that's cleaned out that your body can get the benefits of all the nutrition and all that stuff that you've been getting. So yes, there's good luck and all these opportunities and things waiting to just bless you just extraordinarily, but there's some things in the way. And when you clean those out, and again, it could be something small as cleaning your house, cleaning up your thoughts, cleaning up certain habits that you just know aren't beneficial to you, then all of that serendipitous good luck that is waiting for you will flow to you very, very easily. Now, so to all of my Sun, Moon, or Rising sign Pisces, if you have not gotten my book, The Magic of Self-Love, it is at the link down below, or you can get it straight from Amazon. And also, if you would like to leave a love offering in support of this channel, I do accept those as well in any amount. So thank you in advance for that as well. So who is next? Aries. Aries, to all of my Sun, Moon, and Rising sign Aries, this Cancer season, what wisdom and guidance is there for Aries this Cancer season? Hey, you know what's so interesting? Cancer got this same sign when I did Sun, Moon, and Rising sign Cancer. But anyway, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign Aries, chaos and conflict. And I've been talking to a few of y'all lately, and that does seem to be the case. Chaos and conflict. Let me read to you what all this has to say. Now, in the meantime, while I'm looking for that, get away from me, bug. Stop. If you missed the first 5 minutes of this video, make sure that you go back and listen to that, because I talk about the importance of Cancer season, the bigness of it, and why I'm wearing this ring and all that kind of stuff. And what I said there will help you in whatever I'm about to say here. So chaos and conflict for all of my sun, moon, and rising sign Aries this Cancer season says disarray, being at cross purposes with another, the tension of opposites, the value of chaos before order. Opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere, but consider the value of chaos that serves you well as you become unmoored by it. Scattered to the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself you no longer need and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. Although the conflict appears to exist externally, its essence is also internal, projected outward and causing disarray. You may find yourself at cross purposes with someone else, facing a storm you feel you can't control. Yet every storm passes and chaos leads to a reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than one side of a situation. Look upon this as just a moment in time when you need to take shelter and step away from the fray. Don't be too eager to fight. This is a time to understand rather than to be understood. And that line that says, scattered to the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself you no longer need and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself. I really feel like Aries, there is a way in which you have been living or functioning, a way in which may have been the right way to be before, but there's a new version of you that is being birthed at this time. And so whereas you may think the conflict is other people or your job or outside forces, the real conflict is actually an internal one. I'm trying not to sound too like the problem is you. It's not, you know what I mean? But it's not so much that the problem is you, it's more that you are becoming new. And there are parts of you that may be trying to cling and hold on to the past or the old way of doing things. And the more you do that, you're actually creating more chaos and conflict. The more you show up as your old self instead of the part of you that is being reborn, there's chaos and conflict. And yes, even as you show up as your more evolved self, the part of you that is evolving, the part of you that is willing to do things differently or sees the world differently, right? There still may be some chaos and conflict because there are people and things that are used to you showing up the old way. So there is, whenever this card comes up, there is a time thing going on where you have to give certain things time. But if you keep defaulting to your old self, then you're going to keep getting the same results, but actually even more chaos and conflict, because the universe is trying to grow you into being so much more. And so that chaos and that conflict is really a sign that you are growing, that you are expanding, that you are becoming more. And I feel like for some of you may feel like, but I'm already doing so much, I'm already giving so much, I'm already doing, X, Y, and Z. But maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem that's causing the chaos and the conflict. So ask yourself, like, what this Cancer season, again, make sure you go back and listen to the first 5 minutes, because I talk about how Cancer on one side is about how you love and nurture other people and love and nurture those around you. But it also starts with how you are loving and nurturing on yourself. And if there's not a lot of this, if there's just more so, I think for Aries, a lot of you bring so much of yourself to the table, but you're not nurturing yourself when there's not a table to bring it to, right? So when it comes to how you work, you typically show up and show out. When it comes to your relationships, you're usually an active, engaged partner, right? But when there is not that other thing to exert your energy towards, you kind of flounder, you kind of fizzle out, you don't really shine within yourself, and then it makes it hard for you to see how the universe is trying to grow you. And then there's this ego thing. Well, I'm already doing this, I'm already doing that, I'm already doing it, but you're not doing enough for yourself. You're not doing enough for yourself. And so that chaos and conflict can perhaps be averted or minimized during this Cancer season by dealing with the internal conflicts that you have with yourself. Some of you Aries really do the most. And I've had the blessing and the opportunity to be friends with several Aries and even to work with a few Aries in terms of my coaching practice. And one of the things that I do see in common with particularly like sun sign Aries, but obviously rising sign, especially and moon sign, is that your energy is always on outward problem solving, helping, giving, pouring into, and it can enrage you because you don't feel like you're getting that back in return. But nobody can give you what you're not already giving yourself. And so if you're not giving it to yourself, that you think the chaos and conflict is outward because that's where you see it occurring, but it's actually first occurring within yourself. And so Cancer season, again, please listen to the first 5 minutes of this video, because Cancer season for you Aries is really about nurturing yourself. Nurturing yourself. If you want to rebirth a different experience that does not include a lot of chaos and conflict, you got to rebirth yourself, right? And I could be all esoteric here, the Cancerian waters, the ocean that I talk about in the first 5 minutes. When you think about birth and the fluid, the amniotic fluid, am I saying that right? Right, that wateriness in which we are born into, even the saltiness of our tears. Some of you have to almost like give birth to yourself anew. Who are you? Who are you at your core? And how are you defining yourself? Are you defining yourself by your past? Are you defining yourself by how you were raised or whatever your parents, instilled within you? How do you self-define? Because however you define yourself is how you're showing up. And however you're showing up is either going to bring peace and harmony or more chaos and conflict. So that's up to you to figure that out, to work that out. But it starts with self-love and how you are truly, truly nurturing yourself. And I don't even want to hear it, because some of y'all listen, some of y'all be like, but I do be self-caring, I do be reflecting, and I do be whatever. But then when you start engaging with other people, all of that self-reflection and stuff goes out the window. It's about bringing how you nurture yourself into the world in which you are living and existing. Some of you are doing this dual thing, like you're doing all the self-love and stuff over here, but it's not translating over there into these other parts of your life, because you keep thinking, if I just keep giving and doing and giving and doing and giving, then one day it'll come back to me. Not if you're doing so in a way that is draining you. You're actually just planting more seeds for more chaos and conflict. I'm just saying. You know what? For a limited time, I may be doing, yeah, I am doing. It's down below. 1 hour, one session, where we're looking at how you are self-caring, self-loving, self-nurturing, and nurturing your spirit. Also, your spiritual practices that support your self-love and your self-care. So if you want that, that is down below, and it may only be available during Cancer season. So if you want that, make sure that you click down below. Also down below, get my book, The Magic of Self-Love, and also leave a love offering for this channel if it has blessed you in any way. All right, so who is next? Taurus. To all of my sun, moon, and rising sign Taurus during Cancer season, what wisdom and guidance is there for my sun, moon, and rising sign Taurus during Cancer season? Thank you. Here we go. Sun, moon, and rising sign Taurus during Cancer season. Thinker. You got thinker. So to all my sun, moon, and rising sign Taurus during Cancer season, the card that has come forth for you is thinker. Now, if you skipped ahead and you missed the first 5 minutes of this video, make sure you go back and listen to that, because what I say in the first 5 minutes about Cancer season, about this ring that I'm wearing, about so much more, is going to help you have a deeper understanding of what I'm about to share here. But thinker, for all my sun, moon, and rising sign Taurus, is strategy, being analytical and logical. The ability to reason and strategize is the focus now. Take things at face value and follow the logical path. Your calculations will prove to be correct, for in this moment there is no deeper meaning than what is obvious. Things are exactly as they seem. You have all the information you need. Keep it simple and you will win the game of life you're playing right now. So all of my sun, moon, and rising sign Taurus, with us being in Cancer season, which is what I say in the opening, I compare it to the ocean. So make sure you listen to that. But Cancer season really is a time of delving into the vastness of your emotions, right? But for you, you also got thinkers. So it's about pulling from the vastness of your emotions, how you are self-caring, self-loving, self-nurturing, and then loving and nurturing and caring for those around you. But then think about the most logical and strategic ways of doing that, because sometimes we can be carried away in our feelings, in our emotions, and which is great, which is Cancer season is all about delving into the emotions. I'm not speaking against emotions. We need to feel. Emotions are nothing but energy in motion, but there is a logical way sometimes of applying those emotions. So allow yourself to feel the vastness of everything you feel. You know, if there's anger there, there's anger there. If there's love there, there's love there. If there's hurt, if there's, sadness, remorse, regret even, but if there's also joy and happiness and fulfillment and ways in which you actually want to expand and become more fulfilled, allow yourself to pleasure in the fullness of how you feel. Don't deny yourself any of the feelings. But then if there's a feeling that also has like a desired outcome attached to it, and really all feelings have an outcome whether we want it or not. So if you're sitting in sadness all the time or regret all the time, even if you think it's not being channeled specifically, the outcome of that will be more regret over time if you dwell in that, right? So if there are feelings and emotions that you have an intention for or a desired outcome for, or you want more of that feeling, then be strategic and think of ways, okay, how do I want more of that in my life? Or how do I not want more of that in my life? So what actions and strategic ways of thinking and being and moving and acting do I need to enact at this time so that I have more or less of that particular emotion in my life? Also, for a lot of my Taurus folk, I don't know why for some of you it just came to me, consider even your mothers at this time. Cancer is the sign, it has a mothering energy to it. So consider your mothers, consider even how maybe information that you receive from your mother or a mother figure or a godmother or godparent, whoever mothered or nurtured you, consider how that has planted the seeds of how you think and how you communicate and how you express yourself currently in your life. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Then be strategic about how you adjust that and change it so that you can get the desired outcomes that you want for your life, dear Taurus. So for all of my Taurians, especially those of you, this is your first time watching, you don't know, I am an author, the author of The Magic of Self-Love. This book is available now on Amazon or at the link down below in the description box. Also, in support of this channel, if this channel has blessed you in any kind of way or today's message has blessed you, consider leaving a love offering of any amount. The link to do that is down below as well. All right, so who is next? Last but not least, Gemini. Y'all were first last season during your birthday season. For all my sun sign Geminis, I hope you had a good birthday season last season. But now we're in Cancer season, right? So what wisdom and guidance is there for my sun, moon, and rising sign Geminis during Cancer season? Thank you. Yes, 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 yes. Peace. Peace. This is like the most peaceful card of the deck. Obviously, because it says peace. Cancer season. For all of my Geminis, is a time, y'all, the Gemini mind can be, right? It can be all over the place. And even, Geminis, y'all probably think more, or a lot of information processes through your brain at a higher, faster rate than a lot of other signs, than most other signs, right? And y'all can do that in a way that's still where you're not overwhelmed by your thinking. The amount of thought processes that you all have for another sign could be overwhelming, could cause anxiety and stress. But for you all, you can handle vast amounts of information. However, there still comes a time when you just need to chill and relax and allow peace to be the thing that governs your mind. If you are a Gemini who skipped ahead, make sure you go back and listen to the first 5 minutes of this video, because I talk about what this Cancer season is all about, and I compare it. I talk about this ring a little bit that I'm wearing, why I'm wearing this big ring right now during Cancer season, and how Cancer connects to the ocean and the fullness of our emotions. And one of the emotions that, or states of being, because this isn't even just an emotion, this is a state of being, is peace. Cancer season is offering you, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign Geminis, the opportunity for peace. I say the opportunity for peace because sometimes when we're dealing with astrology, people think, oh, this is just my time to have peace, or this is just my time to have X, Y, and Z. It's giving you the opportunity for that, but you have to align to it. You have to allow it. You have to say yes to it. You have to accept it into your life. So peace is what is on deck for my Geminis. And so what does peace say? What does this card say for you all? It says freedom from attachment, radical acceptance. It doesn't get any better than this: a quiet mind, a heart filled, freedom from want, and the soul satisfaction. The way to peace is through radical acceptance. Everything in your world is exactly as it should be. Harmony is beautiful. Enjoy it. Whatever is going on in your life, whatever is happening in your life at this time, dear Gemini, find the peace in it. There is also peace available. What is that prayer? God grant me the serenity, which is peace, to accept the things that I cannot change, to something, something, and something, something. Dang, I should know that. Y'all should. That's y'all's homework. Look it up. God grant me the peace, the serenity to change the things I cannot change, something, something, and the wisdom to know the difference. So if there's things in your life that you can change, change them. If there are things that you cannot change, all right, so you can't change them. What Cancer season is giving you, though, is the opportunity to find the peace even in the things that you can't change. And it is that peace that then brings about the change that you want. And the last line of that prayer is the wisdom to know the difference, because you have to know if it's something that you cannot directly change, where your actions or your words won't directly change a thing in your life, but yet you're still applying energy and mental energy and words to it and struggle and strive. You're only draining yourself. So you have to know, you have to have the wisdom to know the difference between the things that you can change and the things that you can't change. But note that even the things that you can't directly change, when you stay in a mind state of peace, or you find peace in every circumstance, every emotion that you feel, allow yourself to feel peace about it, then that is the beginning of the changes that you perhaps desire for your life at this time. So that is my message to all of my Sun, Moon, and Rising sign Geminis. If you have not purchased my book, The Magic of Self-Love, it is available on Amazon. It's available at the link down below. Also, leave a love offering if you are so inclined to do so, in support of this channel, in support of this work, especially if anything that I said has blessed you in any kind of way. Make sure that you do that as well. So that is it for everybody's a Cancer, including you. Thank you all for watching. Until we speak again, as always, I'm wishing everyone so much peace and love. All right.